take my whole life too. Oh, for I can't help falling in love with you. Oh, like a river flows surely to the sea, darling, so it goes. Some things are meant to be. Won't take my hand, take my whole life too. For I can't help falling in love with you. Oh, for I can't help falling in love with you.
A very warm welcome to our chapel this morning on a very difficult but nonetheless important occasion as we gather together to mark the passing of Debbie and Jim's baby, Penny Olivia Galbally. The music that we've entered to, Can't Help Falling in Love, seems much more appropriate than normal today, because over the short time that I've had to learn of Penny, she was a bundle of joy that you couldn't help fall in love with. Nevertheless, their baby, created in love and eagerly wished for, would ordinarily be described as having sadly passed away without knowing to the fullest extent just how much she was loved and how much joy she brought to people. But baby Penny wasn't ordinary. Baby Penny was extraordinary. She did know how much she was loved. She did know that she brought joy into this world. I, as many of you have been privileged to see the photos of Penny's wonderful smile and her beaming face, even in the face of the adversity in which she faced in this world. Equally, for Debbie and for Jim, the pain, the anguish and the disbelief is quite naturally great. And why should they be the ones to have to suffer such an immeasurable and important loss to their family, a loss that will be carried heavily in their hearts for all their days? Since baby Penny's birth on November the 28th, up until her passing on the 24th of February, Debbie and Jim have experienced something in their young lives that not many people can comprehend, let alone try and understand. In the weeks and months ahead, and indeed for the rest of their days, they will quite naturally carry a grief that misses baby Penny terribly. They're in need of your constant love, compassion, time, and crucially your understanding, something that I know that they already have in abundance. Each life comes into this world with a mission. Sometimes the mission or the purpose is clear. Sometimes it's vague and shrouded with misunderstanding and uncertainty. But we already have a good idea what baby Penny's mission was on our earth. She added a flame of love that might otherwise never have been lit in life. She softened our hearts, enabling us to bring comfort to others. She united people. She brought us closer together as a human community. Baby Penny's life was short, yet her death has left a huge void in the hearts and minds of those who loved her. So let us remember today and for always the tiny baby that will remain Debbie and Jim's tiny baby forever. Our hopes and our dreams for a newborn child fill our hearts to the point of overflowing. Yet the same hearts that overflow with joy and love and anticipation, tragically overflowing with grief and sadness. But not only is it our human responsibility to support Debbie and Jim in their grief, but to recognise that in these difficult circumstances, Penny has brought much happiness and love to her parents and their families during such a short space of time. The impact that Penny had in this world was far greater than many a life journey of many more years. You may say, how can any joy or happiness come from a tragedy? And I would say to you that when I met with Debbie and with Jim, not only were they very warm and welcoming and faced this occasion head on with unfaltering commitment and bravery, but they didn't hesitate for 1 second to convince me that although desperately grieving and very much uncertain about today, that they wanted to make sure that all who are here today know that their baby and her short life has been such a rich blessing to them. Each new life, no matter how brief, forever changes the world. And it is without doubt that baby Penny's life has changed all our worlds. And it is that change that has brought us here today to pay tribute, to honour and give thanks for those things that baby Penny has brought to life. I'm very privileged to have learned a little of the life journey that Penny had with us in this world, albeit so tragically that she was to never leave hospital. But it's my absolute privilege to share some memories from Jim and Debbie about Penny with you now. Baby Penny lit up the lives of Debbie and Jim on the 28th of November. After a highly anticipated arrival, she was a darling baby sister to Chloe, to Tom and Sam. Although much of her childhood was spent away from home in hospital, baby Penny always knew how much she was loved and cared for, and how much happiness and joy she brought to the world. That love and that joy was not just confined to friends and family. She was highly thought of and loved so deeply, none more so than by the staff on Oliver Fisher Ward in the Medway Maritime Hospital. For you see, Penny was, in her own little way, she was an innovator. She changed lives of nurses and professionals who looked after her in many ways. She perhaps was the first person that they had resuscitated with her condition, the first person that they had taken such great care of with the condition that Penny had. And with those experiences, she brought a unique sense of love and respect in a unique bond that will rarely be repeated in many a professional career. After all, I came to learn that only 22 people have the same diagnosis as Penny. And therefore, I spoke earlier of the mission in life, and her mission was clear: to educate, to help others in the future, as well as bringing that joy to the lives of the family and friends and all those that surrounded such a wondrous little girl. There will, of course, be personal memories. I smile because Debbie will never forget how Penny loved her hair being brushed and what a smile it brought to her face. Or how a blue latex examination glove could be such a pacifier for a baby. I know that Jim won't ever forget that he trapped his hand in baby Penny's nappy, making a straitjacket in an incubator. It's things like that that keep the inheritance of those who we've loved and we've lost, no matter how old, in this world, in our hearts and in our minds. Those family memories, just two of which I've shared, have barely scratched the surface of the emotions of that young life and the emotions that Penny's given to her parents. Baby Penny brought joy and happiness to so many in such a short space of time. Once again, together today, we come together to give thanks for that life, the life of baby Penny Olivia Galbally, who will live on in our hearts and in our minds long after this day has passed, and will without doubt be remembered forevermore. We're very fortunate to have words in this service from the very heart of baby Penny's family. And it is my pleasure now to introduce to the podium Lynn, who's going to read a wonderful story that I had the privilege of reading. You'll see in the order of service, Sammy Seagull and Penny Penguin, written by Sam. Lynn, thank you. Thank you.
I'd like to start off by putting this story in a bit of context. When Sammy was born in 2012, when he cried, he sounded a bit like a seagull shrieking, so his nickname became Sammy Seagull. And when Penny was born, the family decided that they'd like to give her a nickname as well, and it became Penny Penguin. And this was a story that Samuel wrote a few weeks after Penny was born, perhaps thinking that, he'd like to be her big brother and look after and help her. There once was a seagull named Sammy who loved to fly around Broadstairs. He loved to fly around and maybe steal a chip or two. One day he was bored of flying around, so he wondered, what would happen if I flew and flew without stopping? That gave Sammy the idea to fly to the land of ice that his friends would always talk about. Hey, Jim and Sally, he said, I'm going to fly to the land of ice, he said excitedly. His friends didn't think he could do it, so to prove them wrong, he was going to fly to that land. So he took off and flew and flew and flew, until later he found some icebergs. Excitedly, he went to see what there was, and found a lost penguin. He went to talk to her. Hi, I'm Sammy the seagull, he said. Who are you? Are you lost? I'm Penny, she squeaked. Penny the penguin, and yes, I am lost. Sammy, knowing that she must be scared, he told her to wait and flew away. He flew and flew and flew until he found a waddle of penguins. He knew it must have been some of Penny's friends, so he went to tell her where her friends were. After that, Sammy showed her the way back. Thank you, she squeaked. I don't think I could find my way back without you. He said, no problem, and went back, knowing that he had made a friend and been to the land of ice. He couldn't wait to tell his friends.
Thank you, Lynn. Wonderful, wonderful story, so creatively put together by Sam. Well, ladies and gentlemen, music has this power within us to stir our memories, our thoughts and our emotions, often like nothing else can. And we're now going to take a personal period of reflection and contemplation to perhaps digest what we've heard, to think of baby Penny in our own ways and the things that she meant to us and her little life brought to us individually. As we do, I'd like you to also turn your attention to the television screen above the catafalque, because as we listen to Rise Up by Andra Day, there'll be images of Penny's life journey for us to continue to be reminded of the bundle of joy that will forever be in your hearts.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, and you can't find a fighter, but I see it in you, so we gon' walk it out. Move mountains, we gon' walk it out and move mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. And I'll rise up, I'll like the waves. I'll rise up, in spite of the ache. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again. The silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the world to its feet. Move mountains, bring it to its feet. Move mountains, and I'll rise up, I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 that we have each other. And for that we have each other. And we will rise, we will rise, we will rise. Oh, we'll rise. I'll rise up, rise like the day. I'll rise up in spite of the ache. I will rise 1,000 times again. And we'll rise up, I like the waves. We'll rise up in spite of the ache. We'll rise up and we'll do it 1,000 times again.
I hope that during that piece of music and those images that you were able to focus on something of baby Penny that brings you comfort and will bring you some happiness in your life, whatever direction that may take you. I would like now to share the podium once again, this time with Nicola, who's going to read our poem Too Soon by Mary Arnold. Nicola, thank you.
This was a life that had hardly begun. No time to find your place in the sun. No time to do all that you could have done, but we loved you enough for a lifetime. No time to enjoy the world and its wealth. No time to take life down off the shelf. No time to sing the songs of yourself, though you had enough love for a lifetime. Those who live long endure sadness and tears, but you'll never suffer the sorrowing years. No betrayal, no anger, no hatred, no fears. Just love, only love in your lifetime.
Thank you, Nicola. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we approach the conclusion of our service for baby Penny today, we join together in a symbol of our unity for baby Penny and her family, and we ask that Debbie and Jim are surrounded with love and with guidance. Comfort them in their sorrow, fill them with peace and bless them with courage and confidence so that their family may face the future carrying baby Penny in their hearts. Alas, we must, as we do in services, say our final formal farewells today. So, ladies and gentlemen, could I ask all who are able to please be upstanding for the words of farewell? Would you please be seated, ladies and gentlemen? It is, of course, customary that we take our leave to a piece of music. There can be none more personal than the piece of music that we're going to hear now. Little Penny, she had a favourite toy. It will play us the final piece of music. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming together today. Thank you for showing such great support for Penny's family. As we go through our life, we have ups and downs, and it takes on many different twists and turns and takes us in many different directions. Occasions like this show us that we are indeed one human community, and today is a day for ordinary human compassion. So, as we leave baby Penny to rest peacefully, that same love and peace I wish upon you all as you embark on your life journeys. Thank you for being here. May peace be with you.